Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Sideline Debrief. We're back with the fourth episode in our five-episode series of Keep Sell Loan of the top five European leagues. We've already gone through La Liga, Serie A, and Ligue 1, and we've now made it to the Bundesliga. Last week, we did our random pick between the top 8 teams by spinning a wheel. I got my choice in Bayer Leverkusen, and you got probably your last choice in Freiburg.
Yeah.
But do you think you're an expert now in Freiburg?
No.
I just hope you can pronounce all the names, honestly.
I'll do my best.
Yeah. Bundesliga was close last year. Wow, I have the wrong table open.
You got the table, which is alphabetical order.
No, it was the previous year. So I was like, Bayern didn't win the league by 15 points. Bayern won the league on the
By
last
one.
day by 15 goal difference.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. It was a tie.
Dortmund did the biggest choke job ever against Mainz. Absolutely incredible scene. On the last days, Bayern took their 11th in a row Bundesliga title. Teams making Champions League were Leipzig and Berlin. Europa League are our two teams in Freiburg and Leverkusen. So maybe we can see how far they go in the European competitions. And then Eintracht Frankfurt made that 7th spot, tied on points with Leverkusen, but lost out on goal difference, are in the Conference League. Relegated were Stuttgart, Schalke, and Hertha Berlin. So Berlin side in the Champions League, and Berlin side relegated. Really opposite ends of that derby at the moment. But yeah, we're gonna hop into Bayer Leverkusen first here, and then going into Freiburg. Anything from you?
No, you actually explained that very thoroughly about what we're about to do. At the end, we're going to do another dice roll for the Premier League, but not just 1 to 6 or 1 to 8. We're going to do all 20 and see how that goes.
Yeah, I think most of our knowledge is in the Prem anyways, because you can
Yeah.
like Wolves and Luton Town. I think we'll be able to get by.
Even Luton Town are fun, so.
Yeah. I know more about Luton Town than I know about Freiburg, so.
Yeah.
So we're gonna hop into Bayer Leverkusen first. Since we're getting pretty late on in this series, we're getting to the point where a lot of teams have done a good amount of business, including Bayer Leverkusen, already bringing in 2 key players and having 1 key player depart. In Diaby left for around 50 to 60 million off the top of my head. To Villa, big name signing, was rumored to Newcastle a lot, but has ended up going to Villa to join Unai Emery's villains.
Yeah.
Quite an insane move, but that means they brought in a lot of money already, so they will probably not be looking to raise a lot of funds. For that reason, a lot of players are going to be kept. They've already brought in the funds they need. They don't need a big sale. So starting a goal with Hiradeki. I think that's how you say it. I'm not finished, so, or maybe it might be Shadeki. 33-year-old goalkeeper, quite old now. I'd say keep him unless you bring in a replacement. And they are linked to a replacement named Kvanovic. He's a Bosnian goalkeeper playing for the Polish club of Krakow. This guy's market value is about 6 million that they're looking to sign. Iradeki's, because he's so old, about 3. That's not inspiring to me, either of those. But if you can bring in Kokorev, bring him in. If it doesn't come through, keep Iradeki. If it does come through, maybe ship him out. And then the backup Pence, they just got from Salzburg in January. So seems like a good backup. Good. Give them Europe games and let them develop. So that's it on the goalies. Center back wise, there's 4 here: Nikabe, Taposa, Ta, and Kosunoma. Let me try that again. Kosunoma.
Once we get to the Prem, it'll be a lot easier.
Yes, it will. They 4 center backs. Honestly, a really formidable bit of center backs there. Nkape's the highest market value, 35 million. I didn't realize he's only 21. He was older in my head. versatile. Center back can play center back, center back, and left back. So very good in a three or back. But keep him, develop him. He's your second best defender in terms of market value. I keep him around. Jonathan Tah, good. Used to be a lot more highly rated than Bayern a lot back in the day, but kind of flattened out. He's good, reliable, great for Europe and Bundesliga. Keep him and Kosunu. We're gonna keep and develop him. He's only 22 years old. Got a cool name, worth 18 million according to Transfer Market. I'd say keep him and develop him and give him European games. And then the big name, Taposa, heavily linked to Spurs, linked to West Ham too. Market value of 30 million. I'd say if you get 40 to 50 million, buy him and sign another cheap center back. We have one coming through the academy. He's 17 years old, which means he was born in 2006, which is ridiculous. Side note, real quick, on Intercity, there's a goalkeeper that's training with us who's 14. He was born in 2009.
So
he's training with us. He's the same height as me.
Well, to be fair, you don't really gotta.
That's not hard.
Yeah.
All right. But I'd say, yeah, if you can get that much money for Taposa, and I really want him at Spurs, I'd say sell him for 3 million because my vibes. Moving on to left back, they brought in Grimaldo from Benfica. I'm sure you'll know him from Benfica, Ethan. Great signing. He's gonna be the starting left back when Ikate's not playing out there. Worth 25 million. Just signed him. You're not gonna sell him. Keep. And then finishing up the defense is Frimpong. We already sold Diaby. We might be selling Taposa to keep Frimpong. We play him in that flying right back role. He's worth 40 million. I'd say keep him and for another year or two until a club like Manchester United is calling. And he's only 22, so they've got a lot of good assets. Moving into midfield, it's one of the players I hate the most. Granit Xhaka. Keep, just signed him. He's going to be great in the Bundesliga. He came from the Bundesliga originally. He was so much coaching Gladbach. Obviously, just signed him. You're going to keep him. But I think that's a great sign for where Leverkusen. I'm honestly kind of surprised he left Arsenal to go back to Europa League side.
Money.
And back up, there's more money in the Prem.
Well, salary-wise, you could be getting paid more.
I'd be very surprised if they were paying. Just my opinion. But Mbamba brought in as CDM. He's 18 years of age, worth 3 million from Belgium. I'm gonna say keep, but put him out on loan, let him develop. You brought in Xhaka. You have players like Palacios in the midfield. Let him go out, let him develop, and let's let him go out on loan. So moving on to Palacios, 24 years old. In my head, he's 28. I really didn't have a lot of these ages in this squad. It's a really young squad. Well done in my head. But worth 22 million. Have him play in that pivot with Xhaka. Just a good all-round central midfielder. And then moving on to the next three players, all kind of boring names. Andrich, Durembe, and Almiri, all German, 28, 30, and 26. All worth about the same amount of money. I'd say keep them all. You don't need to sell. We're letting out Mbamba. You've got 2 competitions next year, 3 if you count the League Cup. Keep them all and rotate their minutes. Moving on to the last midfielder. Another big asset by Leverkusen. And for some reason, I always forget the guys. Florian Wirtz. Amazing talent. Worth, according to Transfer Market, 85 million euros. Great player. Keep him around. Keep it all costs. He's going to be the guy that gets you the Champions League. What a player. Only 20 years of age. Moving on to the wingers. We've got Adli at 20 million. He seems to be the new Diaby replacement if he catches on to something. He's 23 years of age, 20 million. I'd say keep, and kind of really hope he grows into that Diaby winger role. Next up, I've got Hoffman, a nice journeyman in the Bundesliga, worth about 13 million. Plays on the right wing, just a solid option, great depth, kind of player you need in your squad if you want to compete on multiple levels. And before I move on to strikers, got any questions on any players so far? Thoughts?
Not really. I would say maybe personally I would sell Frimpong just to get even more money.
Mm-hmm.
But everything else you really just want to keep. They're a good, solid, experienced team. They know how to do business.
Yeah,
Um,
young team.
they spend their money wisely as well. So, I mean,
Keep just naming
yeah, I mean, I don't. They're
players.
never going to be able to challenge for the title, but they're still going to be a European team. So they just have to make do
Yeah,
the
that's the new team's gonna begin soon.
yeah, do what well, I guess Leicester are now in the championship, so don't really copy their business model, but sell one or two star players every season, cash in on
Mm-hmm.
them, and then replace.
Yeah,
So, but
exactly.
yeah,
Let's go. In my mind, they've already sold the star player for the summer, so they'll try to keep the rest, especially with Taposa potentially going too.
yeah.
So I've got four strikers. That's right, they have four strikers to talk through. The first one is the Iranian Azumun. He's currently linked to Inter Miami. I'm going to
Oh,
sell it for the
Messi.
vibes. Yep, to have an Iranian next to Messi and Busquets. Why not at this point, you know? Sell if he's interested, even if he's not. You got four strikers. You don't need four strikers. He's the oldest. He's worth 12 million, so worth nearly the least. He's a good striker, good player, but get some cash for him and develop these younger guys. Main striker Patrick Schick is currently hurt. The first of two Czech strikers I'll be talking about. Keep until next season, at the very least, and then maybe sell him for 25 million. He's come in and done quite well since coming Genoa. Um, so I say keep until next season, and you can sell him then because you're currently going to be developing Adam Holzak, the other Czech striker, 21 years of age, 18 million in terms of market value, a wonder kid breaking through. Hopefully, this is his breakthrough season. Give him lots and lots of minutes in Europe. Have him be the number one Europe striker and take over in the league. Um, really have him develop as well as the other guy, Boniface. I'm going to say keep both of them or get a loan from Boniface. So you only have the two Czech strikers this season. You might be seem a bit light. Hopefully, injuries don't knock him down, but I think that makes sense to me. And then moving into the next season, you'd have Holsek up top to start and dominate with Boniface coming back and being that back in Europe. But yeah,
All right.
that's my. So we're selling Amazon, we're selling Taposa, and we're loaning out Mbamba and Boniface.
All right. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't completely agree, as I said earlier, because I feel but still though,
Yeah.
you want to keep most of your players. You're a proven Bundesliga side in European Cups every season, and you made a ton of profit off Diaby. So I mean,
Yeah.
solid list right there.
That's what I said. That's what I'm thinking. That's why what I said. They're gonna sell. They've sold players like Havertz in the past, right? They're gonna sell, make a lot of money, and then keep what they have, keep improving it. So, yeah.
All right. So, shall we move on to SC Freiburg?
Yeah, your team of all stars.
Yeah, for sure. Um, so, the past 6 or 7 years, they have not been a European side at all. And then these past 2 seasons, they just shot straight up to Europa League spots. So there isn't going to be, obviously they have a solid squad then for the past 2 years. It's going to be a couple loans, couple sells. I said for the most part we're going to be keeping a lot of these players because they can prove that this is a team that can fight for European spots.
Mm-hmm.
We're still going to sell a couple, still going to loan a few, but for the most part I like how this team is and can keep
You don't
pushing
want to
for the.
change too much.
Yeah, I don't want to change too much. Don't want to risk that much if it's you still got to add some flair, but you also can't change too much at the same time.
How
So,
many players will you be going through?
how many players? Two goalies, four center backs, a few fullbacks, two DMs, two center mids, one cam, and then 6 or 7 forwards. Not too many. Not as many as the last few that I've done, because I went
Yeah.
too a little too in depth the past few.
Yeah.
So I guess we shall start off with goalkeepers. We have Noah Atabolu and Florian Mueller. Mueller just came in. He is 25, so he's not old, but you can keep him as a cup runner, I said. But their main keeper, Noah Atabolu, he is 21. He has a $2 million more market value, so I guess he could still be the backup. It's not like he's worth that much more, that much better.
He just have the number one shirt.
Sorry?
He does have the number one shirt.
Yeah, well, he is homegrown, so maybe you want to just start him just because he is homegrown, because that solid homegrown experience is what I'm trying to say. He is young, he's solid. He is, I guess, by market value, the better keeper because you can't really compare him. Florian just came into the team at 25. But keep one, have the other as a cup runner. That's basically what I'm trying to say. So, moving on to defenders. Philipp Leinhardt. I said keep. He's the most solid center back that they have. He's in his prime, most valuable. And he's just solid every single year. And then we have Matthias Ginter. I said sell because he is homegrown. He is still very good, but he's 29. So maybe you want to try and get some value out of him before he moves on. Or if you want to keep him because he's homegrown. You haven't really spent money on him, besides wages, obviously. But you also haven't. I mean, any money you sell is going to be straight profit. So it's kind of like that situation that they have as a homegrown player, 29, that they might want to sell. Kenneth Schmidt, he is also homegrown. He gets better each year. This is an iffy one. I said keep or loan, just because of Kevin Schlotterbeck. He just came back off loan, but he's a very experienced Bundesliga player. He can be a backup. If any other two players, center backs go down, the replacement that would come in for Ginter, theoretically, if he was sold, he would be a solid backup. He has a ton of Bundesliga experience. You just want to keep him, in my opinion. Moving on to left backs, we have Christian Günther. He's the captain. He's homegrown. Yeah, you just want to keep him. Still a solid left back. Jordi Makengo, I said loan. He's young. He's 21, but he still needs more solid minutes to keep progressing. He was just bought, but he needs more minutes as a 21-year-old fullback. Maybe loan him off to. I don't think you should loan him off to a challenging European spot in the Bundesliga, but maybe lower tier team in Bundesliga or Bundesliga 2. That's what I think should be done with him. And then moving on to right backs, we have Kylian Sedelia. I said keep. He's very good. He's very young. But yeah, he's worth $12 million at the age of 21. Still very solid. If you want to try and sell him now and get maybe 15, 16 million, go for it. But he is your best right back, and the only other right back that they have is Lucas Kubler. He is 30. He's worth only 2.5 mil, so you're not going to get much out of him. I just said he's keep as a cup player, rotational player. He has a ton of experience. There's not going to be much changing in this team, I feel, because they have a solid mix of young and experienced. So I think their oldest player is actually 30 years old too, so it's not like there's that much age. 32. Oldest player is 32. But there's not that much of a... they don't have a Olivier Giroud. Who's
Age player.
Yeah, they don't have an aged player, but they have experience and youth, which I think is a solid mixture right there.
Yeah, you want to sell their oldest player in Inter.
Yeah. I mean... Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
So moving on to midfielders, we have Yannick Kittel. I said keep. He's homegrown. He's 23. He's only worth $4 million, but the last few years he's stagnated as well. But he's still only 23. He has a lot of potential that he can get out of him. So I sell keep, but I say you want to sell Nicholas Hofler. He's 33 years old. He's only worth 2.5. He is 33, so I actually just lied. He is the oldest player.
Oh,
I think you want to sell him. You can still get maybe a few million out of him, a few more million than his market value, depending on the situation. But you already have a young defensive midfielder that is 23. He's only got potential to keep going better and better. And there still needs to be some change in the team. So I think he should get the axe.
oh wow.
Get some value out of him. But moving on to Maximilian. This isn't. I said Eggstein. I don't know how to pronounce his name. I said keep. He's the best midfielder that they have. Most valuable. You always want to. When your best midfielder is only worth 10 million, just keep him. It's not like you're getting crazy value out of him if you sell him. And obviously, he's a staple in the team. What were you saying?
Yeah, it makes sense to just keep him.
Yeah. Merlin Roll. I said keep or loan. If he isn't getting that many minutes, he's 21, and he needs solid minutes to keep growing. So maybe you keep him or you loan him. I don't think you should sell, or maybe only use him in cups. But you got to get some minutes into him to get more experience and to only get better.
To develop.
Sorry.
To develop him.
Yeah. And then moving on to the only attacking mid, we have Daniel Kofi Kieran. I think you should keep him. He is injured, but he is getting getting better year by year. And he is in his prime right now at 27. So, again, it's a situation where he's only worth 8 million. It's not like he's going to be sold for a crazy amount of value. And if you ever you need to switch from their standard formation of just using center defensive mids and midfielders. You need to move into more attacking formation in the last 20 minutes. Sub him on, get him more attacking. I think just keep him. It's your only attacking mid. So,
Yeah.
All right.
Makes sense.
Moving on to forwards. Vincenzo Grifo. I said keep as most solid. He is their most solid left winger at least. He's 12 million. He's 30, so I guess if you want to sell him at 30 because this is the most value he's ever had. So maybe you want to, I don't know, cash him in, but at 30 years old, you're not going to get much for him. You might get a few million more, you might get a few million less, but I say just keep him. He's your best left winger. But if you do decide to keep him, I say loan Noah Veghout. I don't know how to pronounce that B. That weird B that's in the German language. Weiswout? That makes sense. I said loan if they were to keep Vincenzo. He's young, but again, another situation where he needs minutes. He's 21 years old. Or, again, use him in cups or something like that. But if they were to sell Vincenzo, then you would keep Noah, so that way he gets minutes. It's one of those situations.
How to say it? Real quick. Let's see if it says it.
Weiswout? Okay.
Weiswout.
That's good to know. But moving on to Ritsu Don onto the right side. Coming off the Japanese, I'd say a pretty stellar showing for the Japan at the World Cup.
Yeah, he played really well.
Yeah, worth 18 million. He's in his prime at 25, and he could honestly keep getting better as years go by. He's incredibly good. He's the most solid winger in general. I believe he has played on the left wing too for Japan a little bit, so maybe he can be used on both sides if need be. Yeah. So I'd say do that. Keep him. Maybe use both sides if need be. And moving on to Roland Salah, the other right winger, I'd say he is also worth 10 million. But if there was ever a situation where both your left wingers were out, he's still a very solid right winger. Put him on the right, put Ritsu on the left. Still have a really good attack, you know? Then moving on to the center forwards with Junior Adamu. He was just bought from
Salzburg, right?
Salzburg. Yeah, sorry, I was blanking. For some reason, I thought that said Leipzig. I'm seeing the logo. I just hate how they're all
Red Bull.
yeah.
I mean, it could be from
Sorry?
it could be from New York Red Bulls.
No, it is Salzburg. But I said to keep him. You just bought him. He's worth $8 million. Start him, get him minutes, get him as many minutes as you can. He's only 22. Keeps getting better year by year. And that means that Mikhail Gregorish, I hope that's how you pronounced it. I said to keep him as a backup, but I say for Lucas Holler, I said sell. He is the same age as Gregorish, but he's obviously not as good. And the discrepancy in the couple million that you can sell him for versus Gregorish, it's not going to be that much. So I would say just keep the better player as a backup, but sell Holler. And yeah, so in total, we only have 3 people getting sold in
That's Ginter.
Ginter, Hoffler, and Holler. Pretty spread out, so selling one defensive player, selling one midfielder, and one attack. So, I mean,
This is just pick all the old guys to get out.
I guess
Hey, I mean, that's what some people do.
I guess it's, but that's also, I'm not also saying get more youth. I'm saying get more experience, maybe, but maybe an experienced guy that's worth a couple million less to help balance out the Bucks, get more profit at the end of the day.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
All right, predictions for them this season as they've lost Flecken, Brighton, and they've lost Shade to Brighton.
Predictions, I say it depends how they allocate their team. They're only in a European spot 2 years in a row. So if they want to focus on a European Cup run, or they want to focus domestically, I still say focus domestically to try and get a foothold as like a quote-unquote top 6 for the Bundesliga. If you want to try and secure that kind of spot. If they were to focus on domestic play, I say they finish 6th, I believe, right?
They finished 5th last year.
5th? I say they get a solid 5th or 6th again. That's what I'm predicting for SC Freiburg. What are you predicting for Leverkusen? 4th?
I think Berlin could struggle being in Europe, and they were just to the next step, especially having Florian Wirtz healthy also.
Alright.
All right.
So, shall we move on to another dice roll for the Premier
Yes.
League for next episode?
Let me share my screen. All right, is it live?
Yes, let me open up the Premier League table so that way I can just tell you as you spin it right away. Alright.
18th will be Burnley since they won the championship. 19th will be Sheffield because they came second.
Alright, and then Luton. Alright.
Alright.
Sounds good.
You're going to get 2 rolls. You can either take the first one, you have to take the second.
I see. So it's like there's the chance. Alright. So if I rolled both, I can't take either or.
No.
Okay. Alright, fair enough.
Just spin up. All right,
This is for you.
yours?
Oh, this is mine.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, no, let's go yours.
Okay.
So long. We'll spin. What is it pointing to? Oh.
13th in spin again. I don't want Wolves. I'll take anybody else but Wolves.
Sheffield. I'm thinking like if you get Sheffield or something.
No, I got Aston Villa. All right. I'll take it. I'll take it.
Alright, we'll move that choice. Here's mine.
Let's see who your first option is.
Oh.
You got 10th, Fulham.
I know.
Not awful. It's not awful. It's kind of boring in my opinion, but it's not awful.
It's real boring.
They just lost Dan James, so it's not much going on there.
I'm gonna end up with Sheffield, aren't I?
Somebody's got. I was hoping that was gonna land on Arsenal so bad.
No.
No, but Man United, it's still a team you don't like, but it's not Arsenal.
Yeah. Okay. I kind of wanted a lower table team, but I'll take United.
I will give you one last roll if you would like, just to spice things up.
Do I have to take it?
You have to take it though on one last roll.
United.
All right.
Age restricted.
One last spin, and this is it.
Watch me get Arsenal. No. Oh, you want to trade?
I know we only said 2, but we moved on to 3, and just because I'm a good friend, you can spin again. You are a Spurs fan. I can't do this to you. I can't. You have to take this. No ifs, ands, or buts. You have to.
Right, who is it? Like
Everton.
Palace?
It's Everton.
Okay, I'll take Everton.
Okay.
Probably should have settled on United, but I'll take Everton. Yeah,
I mean, we spun 4 times. You have to take this one, but yeah.
We did a fifth of the league.
You wanted a team that's lower in the table, so.
I did, so it works out. I can't believe it gave me Arsenal. Oh, alright, I'll take it. Everything's exciting.
I'm excited this time. Because I don't have SC Freiburg. Aston Villa, which is kind of exciting.
Yeah. You'll actually know the players this time.
Yeah.
You get to talk about Diaby, like me.
Oh, what a change up. What a session that we can just lead from one episode to the next.
Perfect segue. So, that was our Bundesliga video focusing on Bayern Leverkusen, how Diaby should be good financially, and then Freiburg and new players today. And I know where some players came from. Flecken from Brighton, goalkeeper came from Freiburg. And Gintel sold Freiburg to Dortmund and is now back at Freiburg. So done some good things. We expect to see both of them in Europe again next year. And if I ever catch them on TV, maybe actually watch Bayern Leverkusen.
Maybe, yeah. I would definitely not be watching SC Freiburg, no offense, but...
Hey.
No, I won't change it. If a team I know is in the Europa League, and for somehow they're going to face SC Freiburg, I might catch it. But I'm not going to look for SC Freiburg on its own.
Yeah, fair enough. Probably better than watching Leeds.
I can't guarantee it's better than watching Leeds, but...
Yeah. And then from there, we'll figure out our next video next week. Probably going to be FPL.
FPL based for sure. We got to start that up ourselves, actually.
Yeah, I already made that.
Send me the link. We got to start it together.
You make a team, you'll be in it.
Oh, am I already? Is that how it works? I'm already in.
Yeah. Unless you want to be in the paid one, then you got to pay me $99 buy-in.
How many people?
Right now, we're sitting at 11.
So how is the payout? We're down to sports gambling on this podcast.
Yeah. Oh. Next thing you know, we're going to talk about slots. Fucking love slots. What was the teams you think this week? It was like the slot slinging slashers. Did you see that or no?
No, I didn't see it.
Okay. All right.
But I do. How is the payout? First gets everything.
Third gets their money back. Second, depending on how many people are there, get around. Right now, if it's going to be 20 people, 12 people, sorry. Everyone puts in $20. It'd probably be $20 to third, $60 to second, and then the rest should be $140 goes to.
140. No, 160. Because there'd be 240 total.
Yeah, right.
So 160 goes to the winner. All right.
Yeah, so let me know.
All right.
150.
And you use the same team for both the regular and the paid.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just head to head.
All right.
So you can be terrible in the league, but just get past people every week. So,
Oh, it's a head-to-head for the paid.
yeah. So you literally can text someone shit beforehand, which goes over real well in my family when you're having a shit streak and then top of the league and you're like, damn, couldn't even beat fucking.
So you only
Alex or
have to
whatever.
beat the team you're facing, and you don't have to have the best team in the league at all.
No. Yeah. We'll get into it on the FPL podcast. We'll see if he signs up.
Yeah.
Or he's just doing the big league. So, yeah. So we'll see you guys there next week. Either B Square, Everton versus Villa top. You can't get much more exciting than that. So be here next week to join us back probably next Friday, Saturday weekend. We're gonna hit the Prem, hit FPL, and then seasons ago. Figure out what we do from there.
All right. Sounds fun.
Thanks for joining us, everyone.
Yep. Thank you.